Let's start with a harsh truth. When she left, she thought she could do better. That's the part most men avoid admitting to themselves. She walked away because, at that moment, she believed you weren't what she wanted or needed. And now, suddenly, she's back. But why? That's the question you're probably wrestling with. Your emotions are torn between missing her, wanting her again, and wondering if you're just being used. This situation isn't as rare as it seems. In fact, it's more common than most men realize. Women leave for all kinds of reasons, some emotional, some strategic, and when things don't go as planned, they sometimes circle back. The problem is, most men don't know what to do when that door reopens. Do you take her back? Do you ignore her? Do you make her work for it? Or do you let your ego make the decision and risk repeating the cycle? Too many guys respond emotionally and make themselves look weak the moment she reappears. They forget the pain, forget the disrespect, and hand over power without a second thought. That's exactly what we're going to break down in this video. Welcome back to the channel. If you're here, it's because you're done being confused and you're ready to understand how women really think and how to respond from a place of clarity, not desperation. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to handle it when a woman comes back after leaving you. We're going deep into female psychology, your masculine response, and how to keep your self-respect intact no matter what she says or does. By the end, you'll not only know what to do, you'll know how to do it like a man who's leveled up. 1. Don't be too quick to respond. When a woman comes back after leaving you, the first mistake most men make is jumping to reply. That knee-jerk reaction, the text back in 5 seconds, the "I've missed you too," the instant emotional flood, it gives away your power. The truth is, silence at that moment isn't cruelty, it's clarity. It shows that your life didn't freeze the second she walked out. Now think about it. When she left, there was space, distance, time. She used that to evaluate, to compare, to feel. And now she's circling back, possibly curious, uncertain, or regretful. If your first move is immediate acceptance or emotional openness, she won't feel the weight of what leaving actually meant. There's no impact, no consequence. It's like you were just sitting around, waiting, and no woman is deeply drawn to the man she feels she can always get back whenever she feels like it. Instead, when she reaches out, pause. Not out of spite, not to play games, but to show that your world has moved, that you've changed, that you've grown. This is your moment to observe. Why is she back? Is it guilt? Is she lonely? Or has something shifted in her emotionally? You don't rush in. You give space. Because the man who takes his time shows he doesn't live emotionally reactive. He shows value. He shows calm. And most importantly, he shows self-respect. Imagine this. She texts you out of nowhere after weeks or even months of silence. You see the message. And instead of firing back, "Hey," or "Can we talk?" you sit with it. You go about your day. You let her wonder. That gap, those few hours or that day you don't respond, makes her feel something. It reminds her that you're no longer on standby, that you've evolved. That the version of you she left behind isn't the man she's reaching now. And here's the deeper layer. If her interest isn't real, that delay will expose it. She'll lose momentum, get impatient, or vanish again. But if her return is rooted in something more authentic, she'll respect that space. She'll show consistency. That's how you test, without saying a word. So don't rush. Don't be so eager to go back into something that once broke you. Let her wonder. Let her feel a little discomfort. Because in that silence, she starts to feel what she made you feel, and that creates balance. And once you have balance, you get to move forward from power, not desperation. 2. Her return isn't always about you. Here's a truth that most men don't want to hear, but need to. When a woman comes back after walking away, it's not always about you. It's not necessarily because she suddenly realized how amazing you are, or because she sees you in a brand new light. Sometimes it has absolutely nothing to do with your growth, your value, or your potential. It's about her, her emotions, her loneliness, her regrets, her boredom, her timing. Women are emotional creatures, and that doesn't mean irrational. It means their decisions are often driven by how they feel in the moment. And when she left, she may have been certain, confident, ready to explore something new, but over time, feelings shift. Maybe that other guy wasn't what she expected. Maybe the attention faded. Maybe she missed the comfort you provided. Or maybe she just felt a little too alone on a Saturday night. Now suddenly, she's back. And here's where a lot of men get confused. They think her return is some kind of validation, like finally, she sees your worth. But the truth is, many times, she's not coming back because she respects you. She's coming back because something inside her feels unresolved or uncomfortable. Now, this isn't always malicious or calculated. Sometimes she genuinely doesn't even realize it. But your job is to recognize the difference. Is she coming back with accountability, with clarity, with growth, or is it just emotional impulse? Because if you don't see through that, you'll end up right back in the same dynamic she walked away from. A woman returning doesn't automatically mean she values you. Sometimes it means she's uncomfortable with the space she created. That's a big difference. She might want the comfort of you again without doing any of the work to rebuild trust or connection. And if you take her back without asking the right questions, without slowing the process down, she'll feel no reason to show up any differently than before. Men need to stop assuming that a woman's return is some romantic moment of clarity. It's often just curiosity, or ego, or temporary vulnerability. And when you understand that, you stop making emotional decisions based on her presence. You learn to assess instead of react. You protect your peace instead of chasing closure. So, the next time she shows up, don't ask yourself, what does this mean for us? Ask, what is she feeling right now that made her come back? And more importantly, does this version of her align with the life I'm building now? Don't fall into the trap of thinking you were the prize all along just because she circled back. Real power is in recognizing that her return might be more about her than about you and acting accordingly. 3. Never reward the exit. Here's something that's going to sting a little, but it's the truth. If you reward a woman for leaving you, you're training her to do it again. Let's break that down. When a woman walks away, she's making a decision. Whether it's based on emotions, ego, curiosity, or frustration, she's stepping away from what you had together. And that action, leaving, comes with consequences. But if she returns and you welcome her back instantly, with open arms, no questions, no standards, no change in your energy, you've just taught her something dangerous, that leaving doesn't cost her anything. See, people, men and women, only value what they feel they have to earn. If she knows that she can disappear when she's bored or uncertain and return whenever she wants without losing your interest, then she will never take you seriously. There's no accountability, no respect, just a cycle where she controls the tempo and you dance to it. A lot of guys believe that taking her back quickly shows maturity, forgiveness, or emotional strength. But often, it sends the opposite message. It shows a lack of boundaries. It shows that you fear losing her more than you value yourself. And deep down, she feels that. She may not say it, but she feels it. And that's where the attraction starts to die all over again. You're not cold or cruel for pausing before letting someone back into your life. In fact, that's a mark of emotional intelligence. Because if someone left you once, they proved they were willing to walk away. That's not something you ignore. It's something you evaluate. Now, this doesn't mean you slam the door shut every time a woman walks out. It means you don't reward the exit. You don't rush to repair what she chose to break. You don't hand out access to your life like nothing happened. You slow things down. You observe. You ask yourself, has she grown? Have I grown? Do I even want this version of her in my life anymore? And here's the kicker. If she senses that you're no longer available like before, that your energy isn't desperate, that your world didn't fall apart in her absence, that's when she starts questioning her own behavior. That's when you regain the upper hand. That's when she realizes she can't just come and go as she pleases. This is where emotional strength comes in. You don't react from loneliness or longing. You respond from clarity. You're not rude. You're not spiteful. You're just different. Because anyone who walks away from your life should always return to a new version of you, not the same guy they left, so don't make leaving easy. And definitely don't make returning feel like a free pass. Set the tone, set the standard, and never ever reward the exit. 4. Test her intentions before you trust them. When a woman comes back after walking away, most men make the mistake of trusting her words too quickly. She says she missed you. She says she made a mistake. She says she wants to make it work again. And because those words sound good, because your emotions are still tied to her, you want to believe every syllable. But here's the truth. Words are cheap, especially when they're spoken from a place of regret, confusion, or emotional discomfort. You don't test a woman's sincerity by what she says. You test it by what she does. That's the difference between men who get played over and over and men who stay in control of their value. If she truly wants to come back into your life, her actions should show consistency, patience, and accountability. Not just apologies, not just sweet messages late at night, not just sudden affection when you've started to move on. You're not here to provide emotional relief for someone who doesn't want to do the work. This is where emotional discipline matters. It's easy to fall back into comfort. It's easy to let her slide back into your routine because you miss her. But that's the trap. You've got to pause, pull back, and observe. Ask yourself, is she respecting your boundaries this time? Is she taking accountability or just avoiding the discomfort of being alone? Is she willing to go at your pace or is she rushing things to feel secure again? Is she interested in rebuilding trust or is she trying to resume control? A woman who genuinely values you after leaving won't demand instant forgiveness. She'll understand that your trust has to be earned. She'll accept the consequences of her choice to walk away, and she'll be willing to work for a second chance not expected. And you? You need to stay grounded. Test her consistency over time. That means you don't drop everything just because she showed up. You don't ditch your purpose, your goals, or your self-respect to make her feel comfortable. You watch, you listen, and most importantly, you allow space for her to prove herself. This isn't about punishing her. It's about protecting you. You don't need to be harsh, cold, or bitter. But you do need to be solid. Don't get caught in emotional nostalgia. Attraction isn't proof of loyalty. Chemistry isn't evidence of commitment. Let her show up through action, again and again, before you let her back into your heart. Real power is quiet. It's measured. And it doesn't move just because someone suddenly decides they want you again. You don't make decisions based on how much you miss her. You make them based on how much she's actually changed. When a woman returns, let her speak through effort, not emotion. Let her earn your trust, not borrow it. So, 5. Rebuild or walk. Don't rewind. When she comes back, it might feel like a chance to pick up where you left off. But real growth doesn't come from hitting rewind. It comes from building something new. You're not her previous safety net. You're a man who has evolved. If she wants back in, she has to step into the present, not the past. Think about it. Imagine you rebuilt your life after she left. New routines, better habits, stronger purpose. You moved on emotionally. You elevated who you are. Then she shows up, looking for the version of you she left behind. The one who made himself available without question. That's the moment everything shifts. If you let her slip back into your life like nothing happened, you're throwing away everything you've built. You're telling her and yourself that your progress doesn't matter, that your self-esteem, your growth, your standards are negotiable. And that sends the wrong message. On the other hand, when you say, if we're moving forward, I'm not letting go of who I've become, you reset the energy. You show her that your life doesn't wait for her return. You're available to the right relationship, on the right terms, not as a backup. In that moment, she's faced with a choice. Does she want to walk with the man you are now, or does she want to let him walk away? That's real attraction. Moving forward, not repeating mistakes. You don't have to punish her. You don't need to sabotage reconnection, but do require that she match your energy, your boundaries, and your standards. If you're consistent, if you say what you mean and mean what you say, her next steps will show whether she's serious or just seeking comfort. So don't rebuild something broken. Build something new that can only include her if she respects your journey. Either she walks forward with you, or she stays behind. It's your life. You decide who's invited in. 6. Guard your peace at all costs. When a woman comes back after she's left, the first thing you need to protect is your peace. Not your pride, not your ego, but your peace. Because here's the truth, most men don't hear enough. Peace is the most attractive and powerful thing you can have as a man. It means you're centered, you're not chasing, you're not desperate. You're not trying to force anything, you're grounded. See, when she left, that probably disrupted your peace. Maybe it broke your routine, shattered your focus, messed with your emotions. It probably caused overthinking, self-doubt, or even anxiety. And now that you've finally regained some balance, here she is, back. And if you're not careful, you'll let her in too quickly and lose everything you just worked to rebuild. Don't let anyone disturb your peace, even someone you used to love. That doesn't mean you have to be cold. It doesn't mean you need to be harsh or dismissive. But it does mean that her return is not your responsibility to accommodate. It's your responsibility to observe, assess, and decide, based on what's best for your emotional and mental stability. Your peace is your power. It keeps you from reacting emotionally. It keeps you from slipping back into old habits. It allows you to listen, but not absorb. It lets you evaluate her words without being blinded by nostalgia or desire. That clarity is what protects you from manipulation or mixed signals. Women are drawn to men who don't lose themselves over emotions. When she sees that you can stay calm and clear, even when she reappears, she knows she's not dealing with the same man she left. That alone shifts the power dynamic. So guard your time, guard your energy. Don't rush to reply. Don't explain yourself. Don't fall into old roles. Move slow. Stay focused. Stay grounded. That centered energy tells her she's not just walking back into the same space. She's entering a space with new standards. Remember, just because she's back doesn't mean she deserves a front row seat in your life. Let her earn that over time through consistent actions, not just words. And while she's doing that, you stay locked into the one thing that keeps you steady, your peace. 7. Stop being her emotional home. Here's something most men don't realize until it's too late. Women often come back not because they want you, but because they want what you give them emotionally. You become their comfort zone, their safe place, their emotional home. And the problem with that? You're giving her something she didn't value the first time, and now she wants it back without doing anything to earn it. Look, if a woman left you, then came back, and you immediately become her emotional support system again, you're making a big mistake. You're teaching her that she can walk away, explore her options, then return whenever she's drained or confused, and you'll be there waiting to rebuild her. That's not strength. That's enabling. You're not her therapist. You're not her emotional sponge. You're not her reset button after she's had her fun. You're a man with a mission, a purpose, and standards. When you allow yourself to be her emotional home, even after she walked out, she loses respect. Why? Because it tells her your self-worth is tied to her attention, that you still see her as the prize, even after she treated you like a placeholder. This is where you need to take a hard look in the mirror. Are you doing this because you genuinely believe she's changed? Or are you doing it because you miss the connection and you're afraid to start over? Be honest with yourself. And be aware that she may not be back because she sees your value. She might just want to feel secure again. She might want your energy to fix the damage someone else caused. Don't fall into that trap. This is where you draw the line. Let her talk. Let her show up. Let her try. But don't let her lean on you emotionally like nothing ever happened. Make her meet your new standard. Let her prove that she's here for you, not just what you can offer her emotionally. Stop being the guy who's always there when she's low, but never good enough when she's high. Start being the man who values his energy, guards his emotions, and doesn't allow himself to be used as a temporary escape. And here's the part most men avoid. If you find that she's only back for emotional comfort and not to rebuild a real connection, cut it off. Don't drag it. Don't sugarcoat it. Walk away with your head high and your boundaries intact, because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is not be there when she expects you to be. Let me leave you with this. The woman who left you and came back isn't the real test. The real test is how you respond when she does. Most men think the victory is in getting her back, but that's where the trap is. The real power lies in not falling for the same dynamic that made her walk away in the first place. If she returns and finds you unchanged, still seeking her validation, still chasing approval, she'll lose interest all over again. Fast. But if she comes back and sees that you've grown, that your mindset has shifted, that you're no longer operating from neediness or fear, suddenly she'll have to work. She'll have to earn her place again. And that's when the dynamic flips. That's when the respect starts building. Here's the truth most guys don't want to hear. Sometimes when she comes back, it's not to love you again. It's to relieve her guilt, or reclaim her comfort, or test if she still has power over you. Don't let your emotions blind you to that. This video wasn't about revenge. It's not about games. It's about self-respect, clarity, and emotional strength. If she's back, then make sure it's on your terms. Let her actions, not her words, show you who she really is. Now I want to hear from you. Has this happened to you? Did she leave and come back? How did you handle it? Drop it in the comments. I'll be there and I'll respond. Let's talk about it like men. And remember, you're not the same man she left. Don't act like it.